6. Understanding market value. As Michael and Sarah's transaction continued, the lender accepted the completed appraisal and everyone gathered to review the report. Michael looked confused. "I don't understand," he said. "Three buyers were willing to pay more than the appraised value. Doesn't that prove the house is worth more?" It's a great question, and one that experienced Arizona agents hear regularly. To answer it, we first have to understand one of the most important concepts in real estate appraisal: market value. Market value is not simply the highest price someone is willing to pay. It is also not the seller's asking price, the county assessor's value, or the amount of money needed to pay off a mortgage. Instead, market value represents the most probable price a property should bring in a competitive and open market when both the buyer and seller are acting knowledgeably, prudently, and without undue pressure. That definition contains several important ideas. Imagine two homes in the same Mesa neighborhood. The first homeowner accepts an offer within 2 days because they have already purchased another home and must relocate for work in a week. They are willing to sell quickly, even if it means accepting less than they hoped. The second homeowner lists a nearly identical home, but is in no hurry to move. They reject several offers before accepting one that is substantially higher. Did the value of the neighborhood suddenly change? Probably not. The difference is that one seller was under significant pressure, while the other had time to negotiate. Appraisers recognize these differences and attempt to remove unusual motivations from their analysis, so the final opinion reflects typical market behavior rather than extraordinary circumstances. Let's look at another Arizona example. A buyer falls in love with a home in Prescott because it backs directly to a trail system where their family hikes every weekend. They offer $30,000 above competing offers because they believe the location is perfect for their lifestyle. Does that automatically establish market value? Not necessarily. That premium reflects what the property is worth to that particular buyer, but the appraiser must determine what the property would most likely sell for to a typical buyer in the open market. Personal preferences, emotional decisions, and unique circumstances can influence a contract price, but they do not always represent market value. This is why experienced brokers remind clients that price and value are not always the same thing. Price is what someone agrees to pay. Value is what the market supports. Most of the time, those two numbers are very close. Occasionally, they are not. Here's where many agents get into trouble. Some licensees tell clients, if someone is willing to pay it, that's the value. While that statement sounds reasonable, it oversimplifies how valuation works. A single sale does not necessarily establish market value. Appraisers analyze numerous comparable sales, current market conditions, financing terms, property characteristics, and buyer behavior before forming an opinion. Another common misconception involves county-assessed values. Suppose your seller says, "The county assessed my home at $420,000, so that's what it's worth." As real estate professionals, we know assessed value serves a different purpose. County assessors estimate value for property taxation, while appraisers estimate market value for lending and transactional purposes. The two values may differ significantly depending on assessment schedules, statutory requirements, and changing market conditions. This distinction is important because buyers often compare tax records with listing prices and appraisal reports. Being able to explain the difference builds confidence and helps prevent misunderstandings. Let's return to Michael and Sarah. After reviewing the appraisal, they realized the appraiser wasn't questioning whether they loved the home. Instead, the appraiser was answering a different question. What would this property most likely sell for under normal market conditions? Once they understood that distinction, the conversation shifted from frustration to problem solving. As their agent, you explained that market value is based on evidence, not emotion. That evidence includes comparable sales, neighborhood trends, property condition, location, amenities, financing conditions, and market activity. The stronger the market evidence, the more reliable the opinion of value becomes. Understanding market value is the foundation of every appraisal. In the next section, we'll build on that foundation by exploring the 4 economic characteristics of value: utility, scarcity, demand, and transferability. These principles help explain why one property may be worth more than another, even when they appear remarkably similar. Broker tip: when discussing pricing with clients, avoid saying, "Your home is worth." Instead, explain that current market evidence suggests a likely value range. This approach reflects how markets actually behave and helps set realistic expectations before the appraisal is ever ordered. Online discussion. 1. Why is market value different from the contract price in some real estate transactions? Answer: Market value reflects the most probable price a property would sell for under normal market conditions with informed, willing participants. A contract price may be influenced by unique motivations, emotional decisions, relocation needs, or other circumstances that do not represent the broader market. 2. How would you explain the difference between market value and assessed value to a client? Answer. Market value is an estimate of what a property would most likely sell for in today's open market. Assessed value is established by the county for property tax purposes and follows statutory assessment procedures. Because they serve different purposes, the two values are often different. 3. Why is it important for real estate agents to avoid guaranteeing a property's value? Answer. Property values are supported by market evidence and may change over time. Agents should provide professional pricing guidance through a CMA, while recognizing that a licensed appraiser may reach a different opinion based on additional analysis and lending standards. Setting realistic expectations helps protect both the client and the licensee.